This is Monty once again back doing another podcast. I think we're getting off to a very good start. Today is looks like it's going to be a nice day out here in paradise in Camarillo, California. How you guys doing today? Hope your lives and your health and everything is reaching optimum levels. We're constantly striving towards improving every aspect of our lives. We don't have to achieve perfection, you guys, but we really should make strides on a daily basis to address health-related issues and improve them, to address financial-related issues, hopefully, and improve them, and also, excuse the noise, we want to always try to improve our educational, address the educational aspects of our lives as well. That means learning new things every day. Otherwise, what's the purpose? You know what I mean? If we're never going to grow and learn, then it's like, what's the purpose, right? I can't think of anything more boring than to not try to expand our knowledge and awareness of everything that's going on around us. It's a huge planet we live on. Individuals and people are complex. Animals are complex. Why not spend as much time learning who we are, what is it about the place where we live and the planet we live on and the foods we eat. It's just an ongoing, I think, a very intriguing educational perspective to things as far as learning and growing at the same time. So I'm feeling good, feeling very, very positive. No drama going on in my life, that's for sure right now. And all we can ask for is extended periods of time where we have no drama, where we have no chaos and confusion, where we have no, injuries and financial disruptions and all of this, all of the things that typically go on a day-to-day basis for some other people. But I try to make sure that at least in my life and my family, we want to make sure that we have extended periods where we don't have the drama, the chaos and confusion, and all of the worries and stresses. So thank goodness for all that, knock on wood. What else is going on? Facebook is going through some dilemmas. 50 million accounts hacked. Elon Musk is going through some dilemmas. The SEC is putting pressure on him to step down from his own corporation, which is one of the most stupid things imaginable, considering how much he's contributed to society as compared to the SEC or any other government agency. I think when you have a modern-day Einstein living amongst you, the last thing you want to do is take that for granted, even if you're the SEC or the DOJ or whatever three-letter agency that thinks that they've contributed anything comparable to what Elon Musk is doing right now, not including what he's planning on doing. What else is going on out there? Our hearts and condolences go out to the people in Indonesia. Major earthquake, 7 point something on the Richter scale, I think, and tsunamis going on, typhoons hitting the Philippines. We're recovering from the ravages of fires in California. There's a few things definitely to be grateful for, to not take for granted, you guys. So let's take a look at who I am. Who is this guy going on and on and on about natural disasters and everything else? My name is Monty Henry, owner of DPL Surveillance Equipment. I run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products, 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent and layaway as well. We have a full-on media center, our media library, consisting of blogs, articles, podcasts, videos, demonstration videos, just an abundance of free educational information. You can learn about cybersecurity on the website. You can learn about some of the other articles include not only cybersecurity, but cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, health and fitness. We talk about surveillance and counter surveillance, of course. We talk about all sorts of different things in the articles and the blogs and the podcasts and the demonstration videos. So go there, take advantage of that information. Also, we accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in our shopping cart. We want to get away from the MasterCards and the Visa and the collapsing fiat-based economy, whereby you can print endless amounts of fiat currency for whatever reason you want. If you want to start a war, if you want to overthrow a government, if you want to install your own regime in another government overseas, you just turn on the printing presses and you start pumping out bogus money, and you loan that bogus money to emerging markets and smaller countries who borrow this monopoly money from us, and then they go into debt and they have problems paying back the money. Then you send the corporate mafia types over there from the United States, and you take over the utility systems, you take over the telecommunications infrastructure, you take over the banking systems. Just very, very corrupt system, very broken system overall. And we need to get away from that sooner than later. So don't feed the system any longer. The IRS and the MasterCards and the Visas and the banks and everybody is colluding to keep you oppressed. In 1913, when the Federal Reserve was established, they established the Federal Reserve along with the IRS. One was going to distribute and control the money. The other was going to take back any any excess money or any amounts of money that they feel that they want to take from you through the IRS. They're basically the collection agency for the banks and the central bankers and the Federal Reserve. So it's no coincidence that they were created roughly at the same time. Anyway, let me see today's article. Let's take a look at the article from our newly designed website, by the way, which looks good and works great. I have to say so myself. Today's article: Facebook finds security flaw affecting almost 50 million accounts. Security flaw allowed outsiders to take over users' accounts. Facebook said hackers gained access to nearly 50 million accounts in what amounts to the largest ever security breach at the social network at a time when it is trying to regain the trust of its more than 2 billion monthly users. The breach dates to a flaw introduced on the company's website last summer. The company said. Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg said Facebook didn't have evidence that attackers had accessed people's private messages and posted as those users. So it's interesting to see that this flaw goes back as far as last summer, and we're just now finding that it's a problem now. Moving right along. The investigation is still very early on, so we do not know if any of the accounts were actually misused, Mr. Zuckerberg said on a call with reporters. This of course may change. Hackers gained access to the accounts by exploiting a vulnerability in the code for Facebook's View As, quote-unquote, feature, which lets people see how their profiles appear to others. 3 bugs in Facebook's code connected to this feature lets outsiders still access tokens, which are digital keys that keep people logged into Facebook. A spokesman said Facebook has never had a security breach as large. The company said it doesn't know who was behind the attack, which was discovered earlier this week. The company said it alerted law enforcement. Facebook reset the access tokens for nearly 50 million affected accounts, as well as another 40 million subject to View As, quote-unquote, View As lookup in the past year. Those 90 million users will have to log back into Facebook, and we'll see a note regarding the security flaw, the company said. Facebook said it is turning off the View As, quote-unquote, feature as it conducts a security review. The breach disclosed Friday comes months after Facebook said the data of about 87 million people may have been improperly shared with Cambridge Analytica, the now-defunct analytics firm that had ties to President Trump's 2016 campaign. While technically not a breach, The Cambridge episode raised questions about Facebook's oversight of the data of its users. Around the same time, Facebook said most people using the social network could have had information scraped by marketers who used a feature that distributed profile data connected to email addresses and phone numbers. So basically, you guys, looks like this is another situation where you have a humongous amount of data centralized with one entity. And we Bitcoin enthusiasts and maximists and those who are really promoting Bitcoin and blockchain technology, we do so because one of the main characteristics or features is decentralization, which means basically that you don't put all of your eggs in one basket. You don't have one entity. You don't have one corporation. You don't have one government that controls a ton of information. It's basically called a honeypot. When you have a honeypot, and the honeypot is basically a conglomeration of information, of data, of money or something, all centralized in one place. You typically spread out your risk when you decentralize. So if Facebook was following the model of some of the companies that are trying to get off and running in the cryptocurrency space, it would have decentralized the data. It would have spread the data out so that there's a million, a 10 million, a billion different points of attack. In other words, as a hacker, if you have to attack a billion different people or points, that costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of time as compared to going to one place like Facebook, or a bank, or a IRS, or an Office of Personnel Management, or the DEA, or wherever the data is. If you want to, put all the information in one place, and then that makes it easier for hackers, right? That's adding more risk on top of risk. But when you spread out those weak points, and make sure that every hacker has to take a look at, attacking each individual point or customer, then that's different. That costs a lot of time, and that costs a lot of money. Anyway, decentralization is what we're trying to emphasize as compared to centralizing data or centralizing money or centralizing information. It doesn't matter. You spread it out, decentralize it, and that way it makes it more difficult for governments, for law enforcement, hackers, etc., etc. So this is what we need to do. Take a look at some of the offerings for social networking in the crypto space, and as long as the data is being decentralized, then that's what you want. I think Steemit may offer that type of model. Steemit, Steemit. If I understand that one correctly, that may be an option. If that's not the ultimate option, then we have to keep looking in the crypto space to see who's actually doing decentralization correctly in a social media type of platform. So anyway, that's one lead for you. That's your homework for today. Look at Steemit and see if they're doing decentralization of data and information spread out amongst all of the individual participants. As I like to say at the conclusion of every podcast, you guys be safe out there. Keep your eyes and ears open, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Thank you. Take care. Bye.